Good afternoon and good evening to all of our merry Marvelites. Welcome to Marvel Movie Talk. We are back and we have a new show to start talking about in Moon Knight. And I am Christian Bladt. That is Michael Shirley. Down there
Hey,
is
guys.
Moon Kate, Kaitlin Cornell, and of course, Moon Will Jr. himself. Jeff Williams Jr. We are going to talk Moon Knight. I think the first thing to start with, though, is the fact that coming in a little late is the one and only Count Moon Knight Connor, the Mac tonight, the only Moonhead that we ever needed. Before we talk Moon Knight, we're going to take a moment and talk about the fact that everybody seems to have noticed, but only because of, IGN is one of the sites, that two scenes in Falcon and Winter Soldier have been censored for violence. A little bit slightly less violent, not using the shield to behead someone, essentially. But you're looking at a graphic here. You can see some blood splatter on the face and on the clothes, and they're like, nah, it's good. And just some weirdness on here. Eric, you pointed out when you texted me about this that it is not the most egregious instance of Disney Plus altering content. Talk about the much more upsetting one that you brought to my attention.
Yeah, and listen, I mean, I understand Disney is a multi-billion-dollar corporation, and they need to protect their IP. I respect that, But when I watch the movie Splash, I watch for it for two reasons. One is John Candy as a child looking up various women's skirts.
Yep.
And the other is Daryl Hannah's butt.
Yep.
It's also a charming romantic comedy and an early proof that Tom Hanks could be a leading man. But that aside, and they digitally added hair when it went to Disney Plus. The entire reason I bought Disney Plus, one might argue, is to look at Daryl Hannah.
Hair to Daryl Hannah's butt?
Yeah, they made her hair longer.
Do you have the image?
Yeah. You texted it to me. If you want me to share it on the
show,
it's
my wallpaper.
You need to email it to me if you want me to share it.
I will
do
that.
Is it in braids down her butt? Like, is her butt hair like in cornrows?
Thank you for asking, Michael, because I was so confused when you said they added hair. I'm like, for what?
And Daniel says they've changed it back now. What I was wondering if it's like, do they do this so that they can keep the censored version and the one login? Because Disney Plus has asked us all, like, do you want all our content or do you want to keep it TV 14?
So 32 minutes ago, I just looked it up. Thank you, Daniel Drew. They have said it was a mistake to upload it across all of it.
Yeah.
It was just supposed to be for the kid-friendly version, and they've changed it back.
All right. Well, then why are we talking about it? That's the real question.
I don't
it's
know.
A good thing it's a good thing that we've got Daniel Drew, because just think about how many times he has saved us from looking foolish, just how much he brings to the show. Kate just sent me this. Falcon and Winter Soldier episode censored by accident will be restored. Or it's just that they got caught.
I think they got caught. But I think the reason we're bringing it up is that Moon Knight is such a violent show inherently that I think all of us got a little nervous of, like, the day that Moon Knight came out, the day the censorship came out. I'm like, what's wait, are creators going to have to be worried to make content for Disney Plus knowing that it might be dialed back?
They might just go back. And Cami Egan referenced what I was talking about. I clicked on Disney Plus to watch Moon Knight and was asked if I wanted all the content and set a 4-digit pin.
It was really annoying.
And Ivan, a little shout out. Great Witcher shirt, Kate.
Thanks, buddy.
So before we dive into Moon Knight, I will mention that I have not seen other episodes of this. I'm not important enough. I do know people who have. And apparently it continues to be, apparently it gets more confusing. And I'm like, really? More confusing. But I know somebody who saw the first 4 and loved it, And I know somebody saw the first 3 and said it was the worst thing they've seen since Iron Fist. And I'm like, wait a minute. I loved Iron Fist. So now I don't know what to make. So we'll all watch it for ourselves and decide what it is that we think. The other thing, though, to keep my credentials as a big shot, the embargo on Morbius doesn't lift for another hour and 52 minutes. And it's good because I can't wrap my head around what I would possibly say about that movie. So it's good that I can't talk about it just yet. I need to do some soul searching. 5 p.m. today
on the nose. You're going to put out something on
I don't know. I mean, I might tweet something. But
is that your way of saying I've seen Morbius and you guys haven't, without saying I've seen Morbius and you guys haven't?
Does it sound like that, Michael? Because yes, that's exactly what it is. And when everybody sees it, let's just say the number of people who might be jealous of me seeing it early could possibly be 0. But we'll see. We'll find out when we get there.
Was the post-credit scene as bad as I heard it was?
It's worse.
Oh wow!
But
I actually watched the trailer.
Wait,
I watched the trailer
for Morbius.
Yes. Allegedly, from people who may or may not have seen it, who may or may not be me, the post-credit scene in Morbius may or may not be one of the single worst, most confusing things I've ever seen. May or may not be
worse.
Was it worse than the therapy session with the Hulk?
I mean, maybe. I wouldn't know because I'm not allowed to talk about it.
Venom 2 just said, just forget everything we just did. We're going right back.
Yeah. Look, here's the important thing why people tuned in. And this is why Eric got so upset, because look what they did to that fish butt, to Daryl Hannah.
Did they make her have clothes in? Because that's not her hair. Just doesn't just widen out.
She looks like Chewbacca.
You know what I'm saying? It goes.
My Australian
Shepherd
looks like that.
What is going on?
Yeah. And again, I can't talk about this movie, Star Drew, mid-credit or end credit, but Star Drew, yes. The answer is yes.
Answer's always yes.
Both.
I watched the trailer for the first time today because I felt like I should, in case we talked about it on the show, and I felt like I saw the whole movie in the trailer.
You may or may not have seen a better movie by watching the trailer that came out 2 years ago. But we'll have to talk about that another time. Who's planning on seeing it over the next week? Okay. Count. Okay. So we'll do a special, and Michael gets to be the real winner by not seeing the movie and then not having to talk about it. But
oh god,
let's talk about Moon Knight. And I know, Eric, you've got about 20 minutes, and I've got about 30. So we'll keep it tight. Overall thoughts, Kate. What did Moon Kate think of Moon Knight episode 1?
I thought it was interesting. I have no idea what's going on.
That's fair.
I was like, I don't know who characters' names are. I know Steven because he kept telling me.
Yep.
But there's no relationships except with a goldfish.
Yeah. Goldfish is the MVP.
Goldfish is MVP. Yep. It's meet cute, loving it.
Yep.
I really liked how they messed with time, and I knew that when Aaron Moorhead and Justin Benson were brought on to direct 2 of the episodes along with Diab, it was going to be a little bit mind screwy. And I like
that was nice of you to Disney Plus yourself.
I did Disney Plus myself, didn't I? Didn't I?
That's good.
I liked how they did it visually. It did remind me a little bit of how they did Venom with the voiceover in the head. Like the very gravelly, don't give away the scarab. What are you doing? Eat this food. I'm like, what? Am I watching Venom again? But I liked visually how it put you in the same situation and mindset as Steven, and that they really built up to the reveal of Moon Knight. And now that you've been revealed as Moon Knight, and now that Mark's been revealed, you can kind of get to the story from there. Hopefully we'll get more Mark, because I would really like more story, because you do come in with the mind of the proclaimed idiot of the show.
Yeah. Well, it's true. We're all Steven
we're all Steven in this one.
Michael, episode 1 of Moon Knight. Your thoughts? Your thought is that the tornado's getting closer and you're going to be swept off to the merry old land of Oz.
There's like a tornado, Hurricane Michael, right now, going on here where I am.
That's what my text notifications always look like, is Hurricane Michael.
I'm also looking through these comments and they're really good.
Well, yeah.
That goldfish, man, I'm like, you're putting it in a blender. No wonder it's losing fins. Like, that was like my. Of course, that lady's not gonna help him out at the pet store. Like, that would be my thought if I worked there. Yeah. But I'm excited to see more. I think this is a fun little show. I don't feel quite as, I guess, in the dark as I guess Kate does. I feel like everything Disney Plus does is slightly predictable, except for WandaVision. That was like, I don't know. But like, I kind of feel like I get what's going on, and I'm really liking Oscar Isaac, his little British Steven character, the way he's going with everything.
If they want to do 6 episodes where he actually never becomes Moon Knight and he just works in the gift shop and stands women out of his league, even though he is Oscar Isaac, she's still out of his league because he's such a weirdo.
It'll be Enter through the gift shop. That'll be
I would watch that show.
So when Oscar was talking to the lady at the gift shop, that's not the same person. Like, she thinks he's like Scotty or Mark, right? Because she asked him about his accent, so that's what threw me off. So like, she doesn't know him for being Steven. That's what. Or am I confused in that sense? Because
I think you might be confusing it. The conversation on the phone was the one who asked about the accent.
Okay, good point.
He's losing days.
And then but there is 3 different people, correct? Because someone called him Scotty, and then someone called him Mark. So I'm still confused on who is Scotty and Mark. I'm guessing like Moon Knight.
I think they're just making fun of the fact that Steven is not interesting as a person to even remember his name. So like, there's a bunch of different like Scotty, Sam.
But that could be a reveal Steven. That in Moon Knight there can be more than 2. Just like Legion, there are Legion, and there can be more of these characters. So we're.
I think
there's no Scotty.
I think that's definitely going to happen. Like any show you watch on TV with DID, you're always going to get a new personality right when you least need it. So
yeah. Speaking of personalities we don't need, Eric, what did you think of the show? You muted yourself. So Bernie Mac, you can put your microphone back on. Or maybe he doesn't want to. No. Okay.
I've been watching again. There's definitely a Scotty. He says it when he walks through. It's the doorman that calls him Scotty.
Yeah, I can't.
It's okay. I
can't unmute you. Yeah, there you go. All right.
I'm here. Sorry.
I had a really mean setup for you and everything, and then you
already hit it. Wait, you have a meaner one? Go ahead.
No, I already did it. I did it.
I know. I heard it. I heard it.
I know.
I'm feeling it.
You didn't start talking.
Hey, listen, I'm close enough in Burbank. I can go Will Smith on your ass, friend.
That's true. Okay. Hey, give Rodney a chance and please talk.
Let's not
a joke only you
go there, guys.
That's all we're doing. That was the toe in the water. We move on.
I'm Team Will. I'm just going out there and me myself.
Go ahead, Eric.
I'm Team Wanda. So, I really dug this. I love the editing. You brought that up, Kaitlin. Like, I thought that editing was so inventive because we've seen a million different, like, dude losing his mind, and just the idea of you cut and all of a sudden we're just like minutes later, days later, we don't know. I thought that was great, and I love starting him as sort of like nebbishy as possible because. Yeah, I'm sorry. I look at Oscar Isaac and I'm like, yeah, this guy will have no problem in any multiverse getting a piece. And yet here he is, and he's such a mess. And I had no idea British museums were so cruel. Like, I never really thought about it. I've been to England and I've gone to museums. I had no idea that it was such a hotbed of rage and anger. And there it is. It's apparently like working, I don't know, in the zoo or something, or like a carnival freak, you know? And I thought that really it got me wanting to see more. I loved what Ethan Hawke was bringing to it. And even that opening shot, like in case you were worried that Disney Plus might be softening the blow or harrying up the butt, my term patent pending. The truth is, like, they, in the opening shot, have an image that also not only is kind of violent and a bit graphic, but also a little bit of a religious reference too. Like something that I imagine like some people will be like, whoa, because there's all sorts of religious imagery all over that, just that opening. Even though
self-flagellation,
breaking the glass, mazel tov, and then he's stepping on it.
I used to think that meant passing gas.
Mazel tov?
Until no, self-flagellation or flagellation.
Flatulation
until just like literally a couple years ago.
But also, what would self-flatulation be?
You're
isn't always
doing that.
Yeah, but that's what a flatulation is. It's always you.
And I just figured,
unless you're crop dusting, I guess.
Let's just drop this.
You drop the flagellation compared to flatulation. That'll be look. We'll do a whole episode on it. I think that'll be the case.
A whole season.
God.
I think that they felt. I think it was good that we got to see the Moon Knight suit in the last second, but that really we don't have a lot of answers. And they're like, yeah, you're going to need to keep coming back to understand this. You know, I think sometimes shows will feel like they would need to give us more than this before it starts. And I'm okay left. I mean, I'm not scratching my head, but I'm left just sort of like, oh, there's a lot to fill in. And I kind of want to, I'm really interested in knowing more. And I didn't need more than this week, though. If I were important enough and I had already watched the first 4, I'd probably feel a lot better. But I'm not that important. And I only got to see 46 minutes of Moon Knight and an hour and 52 minutes of Morbius, but still can't talk about it. But is anybody annoyed out of the 5 of us that like, oh, come on, give us something more? I personally don't feel that way, but I would be interested to hear from anybody who does feel that way. What about in the chat? Does anybody feel like, oh, come on, let look and he just tell us already that Steven's mother's dead. That's why he's leaving voicemails for her, because that's obviously coming. You know, it's like, oh, she never answers. I wonder why that is. Or maybe he just never had a mother.
Or maybe he killed her.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what I was wondering.
Right. That'd be so messed up if she was trying to go for that little thing and then he just blacked out and she was just dead and he never knew.
Yeah.
That got dark. Just saying. To change the subject, I also wanted to touch on what Kate was saying about how this reminded her of Venom 2, or just Venom. It did remind me of Venom right at the beginning, but then the one thing that bothers me the most about Venom 2 specifically is that they never grew from them both being naive and not knowing how to work together. The thing about this is, like, we saw Oscar Isaac not know how to deal with the voices at first, but then he like, okay, let me just listen to him and kind of deal with it. And that was all within one episode. So you already saw growth in their development. We never see that growth in Venom. And it's just so frustrating. And like, you're dealing with the same type of banter. So at least like this is like elevated in that sense. And that's what kind of at least keeps me along with it and not frustrates me like Venom does.
Craig Robinson from across the pond. There he is. I was happy to wait. Really good pacing, and the time skips were cool. I thought that the sequence where he's
really good way to put it.
Yeah, the sequence where he's driving the truck and keeps sort of like blipping out like that. I think that's a fun. I don't think we've ever dealt with it quite in that way before. You know, like where he comes to after he's like held onto the scarab and killed those dudes. We've seen that before, but the little bits, like, it's like, oh no, he's still driving the truck. It's not like, oh, he solved the truck problem and then he came back. So I think that the way that they're messing with us it's been entertaining so far. And I don't know, this is a hard show to watch and not think about like, wait, where did they really film all this? Like, You know, like did they go to Switzerland, or or like are they? I mean, yeah, there's shots where you can tell, but it's driving on that road, and I don't know. There's a lot to think about, sort of like what went into the production, but then also the storytelling.
I was thinking something like a Slovenia, like or
they filmed
wherever.
it in Hungary.
Okay, I was thinking like Melania Trump vibes from like those surroundings.
Well, Michael,
just the old lady that got
yeah, Michael,
just like hilly and like
Michael. Obviously,
Minority Report
you're getting Melania Trump vibes, because more than anyone I know, you always strive to be best. So I think that's probably why that is. And Eric sent me something very important. And obviously I need to share with it immediately, because this is the real Moon Knight, and thus the representation of Eric's screen name is, of course, Mac Tonight from the McDonald's commercials from, I don't know, 35 years ago, somewhere in there. But
hey,
I always get that mascot. I always get that mascot confused with Cool Cigarettes. No, I don't know. I never associate it with McDonald's.
Well, and Kemi Egan appreciated it, and I mean the voice. Where'd that go? That was Ghost. The voice Steven is hearing in his head is Khonshu. The Moon Knight is the fist of Khonshu, essentially, not to be confused with someone who has an iron fist. But and I think just sort of dealing with it. And, Mark talking to him in the mirror is like, oh, let me take over. I can get us out of this, but not really, dealing with it beyond that. So there's a lot of story to untangle.
What's also interesting is, from a filmmaking perspective, there's been a lot of visualization in the past 2 years utilizing mirrors in the mirror self and the shadow self. And it's been the one that comes to mind most recently is Last Night in Soho, where she's actually interacting with the past through the mirrors and the reflections of the past. And the same thing was happening here, where Steven would keep going and the reflection would keep looking, and then even at the end, the last scene where Mark was literally in the mirror talking to him. And I think that this Moon Knight, after the pandemic that we just are still going through, but after the kind of dealing with oneself and dealing as a collective with mental health, I think that it's showing up more visually as a consistency in the art that is being made. And I don't think that we can kind of deny that it's now hit Disney.
Yeah, no, I think, it's definitely, I don't know. There's a lot I'm impressed by the production for really all of these Disney Plus shows, but specifically those made in the pandemic. It's that much more impressive. Daniel Drew likes who they chose for the voice of Khonshu, and Dominica Saxon chimes in F. Murray Abraham, although I know that Eric was always more of an F. Jackie Abraham guy, but also both fine actors in their own right.
Which, ironically, I started watching what's the Mythic Quest right after I watched the new episode of Moon Knight, and I realized afterwards, like, why did I want to? It's the F. Murray Abraham. He's in both. Yeah.
He's
so anyone who could do both those things is okay in my book, and Fezzik agrees.
Eric, I know you have to run momentarily, or in a moment, and then you will stay gone. You have to be gone and stay gone. You've lost your LA privileges. But what would you like to say overall about the show before you leave in about 2.5 minutes?
Sure. And apologies for the barking. I thought this was a great start. I'm surprised at some of the blowback. I thought the critic scores would be higher, but I thought it was beautifully shot. I loved the production value. The acting was great. I mean, they could have probably done a little less in the Museum of Intolerance. But in the end of it all, I think it really is a great start to the show. And really, we've now been conditioned that, except for the show Who Shall Not Be Named, all of these are, in essence, miniseries. They're 5-hour, 4-hour long movies. And so, in essence, what we watched here was Act 1. you know, and maybe not even the full act one yet, because we still don't have that sense of how he's going to now navigate the minefield that is his own mind. But, you know, I was really happy with this. I'm very curious what my kids will think of it. I think it's a little scarier than I expected, but in a great way. So, yeah, no, I hate to be positive, but there it goes.
What's the show we're not?
Why would you hate to be positive?
What is?
No, because you know it's
well that I mean, Kate, you've been on this show often enough. That's not really our brand. We're not here to be positive.
I mean, I'm right next to Michael, you know.
Determined.
Yeah. Oh, no, the show was What If. What If was not.
What If is the show he's referencing.
Yeah.
I only hated one episode. I just disliked most.
Are you nervous about Doctor Strange then? If you thought this was kind of dark, because this I feel like this is kids? I feel like this is like a teaser into what we're gonna expect for like Black or is it Black Knight or just the darker the darker side of the MCU. So I was just wondering.
Yeah, my kids are growing up. They're 11 and 13 now. The shit I watched at 11, gosh, I mean, it's illegal in a lot of states.
I mean, I went to see RoboCop in the theater with my parents when I was 11. But and also, Jeff, I'm just not really a good parent.
No, as we've discussed before. So
we've established.
I meant more just like in general, because I mean, this obviously got a lot more violent than all the other MCU shows that we've seen on Disney Plus. And this is a teaser into what we've heard is a darker side of the MCU and Doctor Strange. And I know you got to go, but just
it's listen. I always have time for Jeff. Mike,
not the rest.
But I honestly, I welcome it. I mean, I think something we've talked about before here, right? Is the whole idea of how do you keep doing this, like. You know, and it's interesting because even in my class, I talk about, you know, franchises within TV history and spinoffs, and I show the graphic of the Marvel lineup of shows. And then I show the graphic of the Star Wars lineup of shows. And you realize, like, Star Wars has become such this kind of leaky boat, yet Marvel hasn't. And the way Marvel will continue to keep going is because they keep going to new waters, and that's really what this show feels like it's doing. The fact that it's about mental health. I mean, how much of the show, and I know I got to run, but like, it's really a metaphor for addiction, you know, and that idea, like when you know, you're an addict or you love someone who's an addict, you lose them, you know, for periods of time. So I think it's a great move on Disney's part. We'll see if the larger family audience will agree, but at least this part of the family audience, I couldn't be happier with where it's going.
Eric, I will bid you adieu with this comment from Kemi Egan. The only thing I laughed at how bad it looked was the CGI of Steven's broken jaw. I didn't realize he was a relative of Jay Leno. Yeah, you can't have him, Monica.
Yeah, you know, I just read in the newspaper. All right, bye guys.
All right. Yeah. Well, that was Khonshu himself, Count Eric Connor on social media. And now we're just a quad split, and it's just much more pleasant to have us in 5 little boxes. It's very stressful.
I need more screen space.
Yeah, exactly. I need to stretch
my
out
hair.
So yeah, I mean, I didn't think that the CGI looked bad in the broken jaw, but it's funny that Kemi Egan latched onto it because. In the moment, I'm like, oh, it looks a little weird, but it's like
he did look like Jay Leno.
Yeah, instantly
like that. I did not think of, but I was also getting kind of like George Lopez, like.
But when he was cracking it, the sound of it cracking was just enough for me to be like, nope, hate this. I think I crawled over my roommate because I just couldn't handle it. Like it got like the cool part about this episode is it got like there was no real blood in it because it was mostly covered by cupcakes, but like there was it was just terrifying in like a multitude of different ways of creepy, which I really like because it's like there's no blood in this episode.
Yeah, which I believe is the next step in the Disney Plusification of violent content, that all blood will be replaced with cupcake frosting, so that everyone will be able to enjoy it, and it'll be fun.
But like that spoke to a part of me that like that's how I would probably solve that problem in that moment. Like cupcakes, get out. Take a bite.
Oh, poor Eric. He actually like commented on his way out that he's now walking to work, sadly. But at least he's like. Ivan wants to know: do you think we'll meet Jake in this show, the third personality? Absolutely. I think we will meet all of the personalities throughout the course of this series. Just you don't need to give away the farm. This is a streaming show. You've got them all done. When you tackle them, you're tackling the whole series. You don't have to really worry about it. This is not 25 years ago a network TV pilot where you have to kind of give everything away because otherwise you might not be back on next week. So I definitely appreciate all that. Now, is there anything? Oh yeah, Daniel Drew actually says gotta love the Foley artist. I was actually thinking about that when the steps with the glass in the shoes. I was just like, as a Foley artist, that must have been so much fun. Like, what would that sound like?
For there not to be blood in this episode, the first 2 minutes of the episode, I was like, oh God. I was like, what are we getting ourselves into? I'd rather see blood half the way.
But I also just binge watch Castlevania, and the first season you have that guy, the first 2 seasons, that guy whipping himself and stuff, Silas from Da Vinci Code style. And I was just like, that's so much worse. Why is that so much worse?
Can we talk about how she just said Castlevania?
I love the way she said it. It's very exciting.
It sounds so
the way that growing up, we used to call it Castlevania. So I love the way you say it. It's yours sounds like Dos Vidania. Yeah, but I don't know if we're allowed to
Castlevania.
I don't know if we're allowed to speak Russian anymore. I can't keep track of all these things. I feel like Colossus and Ilyana Rasputin have both been canceled in the present day.
Castlevania got canceled last year.
Oh, got actual canceled. So let's talk about the show from the sense of anything that you were disappointed by and are hoping let's not see more of this. Anything like that. Kate seems to have some squeamish moments, but it's not in the way that...
give them to me. I need
right, building. Exactly. We need those feelings. Michael, when I'm looking for negativity, I find myself always turning to you. What do you think? Is there something that just didn't work for you, or is this a rare moment of 46 minutes of Michael Shirley bliss?
Almost. When you said that, the first and only thing that came to my mind was the words Ethan Hawke. And I just thought, oh my God. When he started talking, that's when I watched the Morbius trailer, because I was just like, it's just like, this century kind of left him behind. I think his
Ethan Hawke.
I think his performance peak, say maybe 1999, 2000. So I don't know.
I have said on this show before that his Hamlet is underappreciated.
Okay, what is that? 2001?
No, I know, but I like all the Before Sunrise movies, even the third one, which they didn't need to make, but I still like that one too. And what was that movie called? Boyhood, where they filmed it over 15 years.
God, so it was 12 and.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but I mean, so that's a lot of this time
here for that.
The only Purge movie I've ever seen is the first one with Ethan Hawke in it.
If you want his best performance ever, watch Predestination.
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, bro, get ready for a ride.
Oh, bro,
it is the best time travel movie. It was the best time travel movie, and it stars Ethan Hawke
I would say
Sarah.
About Time is the best time travel movie. So it's got something to live up to. Sky the Boss, 96, which was a great year for Ethan Hawke's career. 96. The only thing I was disappointed in was not getting a cameo appearance by at least one Midnight Suns character. We got a few more
episodes.
Yeah, I mean, I think it just might not have been time yet.
I want to see Mr. Knight.
Cammy Egan loved Ethan Hawke in Dead Poets Society.
Yeah, what was that? Oh my goodness,
Lewis just gushing compliments. Kate is a beautiful human. All right, so we got to get that out there. Ethan Hawke in Training Day. You know what? We'll do an Ethan Hawke special.
All right.
Will we?
Ethan Hawke was good in Training Day.
Yeah. So and so.
All right. Well, everyone better be wearing low-rise jeans.
I'm so with you.
I have actual clothes from the 90s upstairs. It's not going to be hard if we're going to do a 90s theme show.
Break out your Jinkos then.
I mean, it's really just t-shirts that I can still fit into, but Jinkos
are bust.
Yeah. I don't. I wasn't really disappointed in this. I feel like they gave us a couple of crumbs. It's fine. I'll sit back next week. I'm not staying up till 1 a.m. watching any of these. I'm just saying that right now.
I hated that tattoo, Christian.
You said
my tattoo?
No, the
how
Ethan
it was
Hawke
like
tattoo.
wiggling. I was getting like
right. That's fair.
Like Saturday Night Live vibes. Like we want to pump you up. I was like, what?
Hans and Franz?
Yeah,
like
that was where my mind went when
Steven's result.
Kale.
Sorry, what was that, Kate?
I like how we didn't see Steven's result. The camera panned up just to get his reaction because it's something that like I know, but it's something that like it's like an older filmmaking technique to actually just show a reaction to something instead of the thing and then the reaction. And it's nice to see these techniques coming back. And I have to just mention that Mohamed Diab is an Egyptian filmmaker, and I like that he was brought in to direct the pilot of this one. Given his one connection to the history, but like how vocal he is about the current Egyptian political situation. So good job, Mohamed Diab. Fucking killing it. Sorry, I Disney Plus myself.
You did, but
back
that's
to normal.
right.
I'm back to Blackcast.
Yeah, we'll have it. We're gonna add a virtual swear jar.
Disney Max.
Great. I'm gonna lose.
Sky the Boss wants to know. I don't even know what I just did. Oh my gosh, I'm glad you guys can't see my screen.
He wants to know, was the Moon Knight limited TV series supposed to be an R-rated or PG-13 film on Hulu or in theaters?
I mean, it's created for Disney Plus. This is weird. His comment is so long that that Jeff has become Kilroy was here.
Bye, y'all.
Now
I know how to get more.
No, I mean,
time.
It was created for this. If it was a film, that makes it 4 films. But I mean, it was created specifically for this platform. I think it is. It's. I don't think it's the TVMA classification.
Right.
I think it was TV 14, but it's a good question. I just don't actually know the answer. I'm excited for where it might go, and it's a character that honestly, I have read Moon Knight stories. I've enjoyed them. He's always been way more cool looking than anything else. So if we, as much of him as we see, that's going to be great. And his gadgets and really all of that stuff, and just exploring the multiple personalities, I think is something that you can do so much better on screen, whether it's movies or television, than you can in comic books. I think we got to see it a little bit with Legion, and just this character being such an important part of who he is. I'm ready for all of it, in all honesty, and looking forward to next week when we talk about more. So I think we'll have to figure out when we're going to do a show about Morbius, but who's seeing it on Thursday night? Now that's the question. So do you already have tickets, you guys?
Yeah. I'm checking it out. I have like 2 different tickets depending on where I want to go see it, but yeah, I'm going. I just didn't want to go see it on my birthday because I was like, I'm not gonna ruin it.
When is your birthday?
On Friday, so I'm not seeing on Friday. I was like, I saw the date come out. I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna ruin my day.
So your birthday is April Fool's Day?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
yes,
man.
it is.
Do you like that or do you not like that?
There's no original jokes. It's 29 years. There's no original jokes at this point. So
I'm just imagining, like, when you were born, just all the hysterical like notes your parents got like in the mail, about.
Are you serious? Like, is this a joke?
Yeah, like ha, ha, ha.
We had a baby.
Exactly, but
no, you didn't.
You're getting a car on your birthday. Just kidding. April Fool's joke.
And Sky the Boss again. Would you rather Moon Knight be like Tom Cruise's The Mummy or Brendan Fraser's The Mummy if they made it that way?
Brendan Fraser.
I would like to vote for
day.
neither. If it's like any Brendan Fraser movie, I want it to be like Encino Man, if that's okay.
Or George of the Jungle.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
True.
Yeah.
I did like that.
Yeah. Well, happy early birthday to Jeff. If it is really his birthday, that's the ultimate April Fool. Just telling people it's your birthday, and it's like, nah, it's not.
It actually
that's
is.
meta.
That would be hilarious. What if it was like April 2nd or something?
Or it's February 29th, so it's like I don't actually have
getting 2 birthday gifts a year by telling everyone.
Jeff can't afford yet.
Exactly.
Well,
coming out Friday.
We'll tweet out when we figure out when we're going to talk about Morbius, and also we'll be back in our regular time next Wednesday, hopefully at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, and yes, 1 p.m. Central. But that is all the time we have for this week. Until next week, let everybody else know where they can be found. Michael, where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at I Hate Michael Shirley and Twitter at Michael X Shirley.
And Kate Knight, where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Cornellable, and I'm actually editing a video currently about the Batman. So, I know it's been a year in the making, but it freaking happened, and it's happening.
You're making a Batman movie?
I'm making videos breaking down the Batman because there's not enough Batman content on why
not enough Batman content, which is exactly why people should find myself, Michael, and Kate on Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific over on Geekscape. Michael forgot what this was.
I was like, I've not seen that movie yet.
Yeah, well, where we're going to have the premiere episode of a new series called Geekscape Book Club. At least I hope that's the name of the show. I have to double check. But I will tweet out the link, and it will be Sunday afternoon. And the one guy who runs Geekscape, Matt, wrote to me, and he's like, "Oh, I don't know if you know, but Sunday is WrestleMania. I don't know if you're worried about any kind of conflict." And I'm like, "Oh no, I couldn't be less worried about it. I think this is great counter programming to talk about a Batman story from 35 years ago." And the conceit of the show, Lewis. The conceit of the show is that none of us had prior to this show read Batman Year One, which is what we're going to talk about. And then a month from now, we're going to do a Doctor Strange story, which I need to figure out before the show. So we'll have a little email
Moon Knight.
Talk about it. Yeah. But and of course, you can always find me on Twitter and Instagram at ChristianDMZ. But Jeff, where do people find you to wish you a happy birthday on Friday?
Yes, I appreciate everybody in the comments saying happy birthday. You guys can follow me or continue conversation at Jeff Will Jr. on all social media platforms.
Yes, I will.
Everyone needs to check out Jeff's new video series.
It's so good.
Oh, I do. The houses Jeff can't afford yet.
I love it.
Yes.
It's fantastic.
The emphasis on the yet is actually my favorite part of it. I'm glad that Michael.
Has your work seen it?
They have not. There's like 2 coworkers that follow me, so like a couple of them know, but like it's not talked about yet.
They need to see it, Jeff.
It's so fucking funny.
And Lewis, follow Kate at Cornellable, and then you'll find all of her content. I think most of your stuff is really on Instagram, right? I don't know that
it's mostly on Instagram and TikTok, and I put it on YouTube just so it's there.
Yeah, and just like us, just so that we're there.
Mm-hmm.
But I will not get a Twitter. I'm so sorry, guys. I can't tweet because
that's so funny because
I
don't you have one?
Yeah, but okay.
I tag you in the post.
Can't actually read
because it's not real. It's for something that I had to put a pause on. It's for another creative project.
Oh, I see.
As a tie into a thriller that I'm writing.
Oh, it's your version of Boyhood. It's Kate Hood over the course of 15
Kate Hood all over. Yeah.
Well, that's all the time here for this week. We'll see you back at our regular time on Wednesday. But until then, as the great Stan Lee would say, Excelsior!